everyone, I'm Tabitha, and today we're talking about positivity. So today we're doing the positivity tag, and this is a tag that was brought to you by my friend Tabuggy, who I will tag her original video down in the comments. Bug posted this, I saw this way back at the beginning of July, and I said I was going to do it, and it's been like 20 days, almost 3 weeks before I worked up the courage to be positive and talk about myself. So be nice in the comments. So the idea here is to answer questions about myself using only positive language. No negatives, no buts, no backhanded compliments. Just like Bug, I have a tendency to say something positive about myself and follow it up with a backhanded negative. So I might say something like, I write strong characters, but I need to work on my use of commas. Today, no buts. I'm hoping to be able to watch this video again on my negative days and see all the good things that I said about myself. Enjoy the video and take the challenge if you love the concept as much as I did. Here we go. Number 1, talk about friends you've made through writing. I have connected with some local authors through my writing. Hi, Amanda and Jen. And I've connected with some online people, sometimes even from other countries, who I never would have met otherwise through the writing community. Hi, Carrie. But more importantly, I found new ways to connect with people I've always known. I can talk about myself as a writer. I can talk about my books. I can talk about myself as an author. And my friends and my family who have always been there for me are seeing me in that new light and in that new way. It's amazing and mind-altering to have somebody see you the way you always saw yourself but didn't admit. Number 2, what's the nicest compliment you've ever received about your writing? This one's easier for me to answer, I think, because it's not about me. It's about the person who complimented. Anyway, to understand how this is a compliment, you've got to understand the backstory. Otherwise, it doesn't exactly sound like a compliment. So I have a little sister. We have kind of this like love-hate, we had like this love-hate relationship growing up, right? Anybody who had a sister, comment that you understand what I'm talking about, so I don't feel alone. But, you know, as little kids, we drove each other crazy. Anyway, my sister is an avid young adult reader, and she specifically loves fantasy. So when I started writing Breaking Iselda, it made sense that she would be a good beta reader. Like, she was an obvious choice for somebody who lives and dies by this genre, who should try this book for me and tell me what she thought. Also, she has absolutely no problem, probably because of our history, being brutally, brutally honest with me. My little sister said about Breaking Iselda, I hate how much I love it. Best compliment ever. Number 3. What's your favorite AuthorTube video that you've ever made? It's a really hard question. I like my monthly wrap-up videos because I get to geek out about how much I love books. But my favorite video is probably the one where I talk about fear of failure. I'll link that in the comments just in case you want to find it. That but didn't count, by the way, because it was in addition to. I like my monthly videos, and that's my favorite. I'm going with that. Number 4. When or why did you fall in love with writing? I think I fell in love with writing at a really young age. I'm a very introverted person in general, so I don't really open up to people. I almost think of myself sort of like, do you ever see the show Pretender? Like an actress, or like that show Pretender in real life. I kind of play the part that a situation calls for at any given moment, basically. So writing allowed me to put those parts of myself that I didn't necessarily share with people out there in the form of my characters. It's kind of a safe way to have emotions and fears and hopes and dreams all kind of appear out there in the real world disguised as Iselda or Jordan or Elise. And that was a safe way, I think, for me to do that. Number 5. What is your favorite thing you've ever written? Redeeming Jordan. It's the second book in my Kingdom of Frown series, and I think that gets the award for my favorite thing I've ever written. It's not that Redeeming Jordan is better than everything else. I don't think that at all. It's just Redeeming Jordan involves scenes and emotions that I tend to hide. Like when Iselda gets irrationally angry, or when Jordan feels so overwhelmed that his fight-flight reflex kicks in. It was personal for me in a lot of ways, and so that makes it my favorite. Number 6. What is your favorite part of writing? Drafting. Outlining is the hard work, I think. That's where I have to come up with a plan, and I judge myself like it might be the wrong plan. Drafting, for me, is sort of stress-free, right? The plan's already there, the roadmap's there. I just have to follow it. It's like, if the plan was wrong, this isn't my fault. So I just kind of, I go with it, and I get to write, and that's freeing, and that's my favorite part. Number 7. What is your strongest skill as a writer? This is going to be a really hard one to answer without that but at the end. I'm going to try. I think I'm capable of creating a scene that makes you feel something you can connect to. I think that because when I do my rewrites and my edits and I read it for myself, I feel it. I get dropped into that moment with the character. I get goosebumps or whatever. I can create that. It's really hard not to just add on the... I'm not going to. I can create that. Period. End of sentence. Next question. Number 8. Tell us something you're proud of. I'm proud of myself for a lot of the steps I've taken in the last few years that I would never have imagined my introverted self taking. I have a blog. I have a YouTube channel. I go to author events. I go to vendor events where people aren't expecting authors and talk about my books with strangers. These are things I'm super proud of myself for having the courage to do. And I just imagine that little 5th grader who first won an award for some random story she wrote. If I had told her she'd be standing in front of people telling them about their book when they didn't ask, that little girl would have thought I was crazy. It just wasn't something I ever imagined myself doing, but I'm proud of myself for doing it. So that was an okay but because it was an and. And I'm proud of myself for doing it. Number 9. Give yourself a pep talk. Okay. I know what the idea here is. And this is the hard, like I knew this was coming, and that's why I've put this off for 20 days. So the idea here is when I'm at my most negative self-doubting times, I'll be able to watch this section and like motivate myself back to work. So this is for me, which is awkward, but super important. I'm just going to do it. Hey, me. I know you're struggling right now, and you know what? That's okay. It happens. Give yourself a few minutes to feel it. Write about it if you have to. But after that, you have to get back to that story you're writing. Somewhere, there's a teenager who needs that story. Somewhere, there's someone who's waiting for that scene. The one that you're having trouble writing right now. The one that's making you feel too raw and exposed. Somewhere, there's someone who needs that. They need those goosebumps. They need that moment where they think, wow, I have felt this. Yeah, they're waiting. So, finish the book. Number 10. Tag people. I hate tagging people, actually. I'm never sure if people want to do the videos, and I don't want to make them feel pressured to do the videos. So I feel like that really goes against positivity if I made you feel pressured. So instead, here's what I'm going to say. If you, like me, liked the positive nature of this video right here, and you're going to do one, do it! I just ask that you drop a comment down here to let me know that you're going to do one or that you did so I can find it because I would love to watch it. Yeah, and that's it. Thanks. Okay, that's it for me and the Pick Me Up Positivity tag. I hope you enjoyed a little positivity today. I actually had a good time filming it. Hit subscribe so you know when I'm back. Keep plotting the path to your dreams, and I will see you next time.